This Thursday night, Netters Network is bringing back previous guest and friend of the community, the tired midnight blogger himself, Curtis Selby. We'll catch up with him and find out what's been happening on his channel since we last talked to him. That's this Thursday night at 9 Central, 10 Eastern on Netters Network. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Thanks for coming to Monday night at the movies. I almost forgot the name of my own show. Last call, Monday night at the movies. We are celebrating, if you can call it celebrating. We're commemorating. We are considering Veterans Day and remembering all who sacrificed so much in the service of our country. With me tonight, of course, is my lovely wife, flying the red, white, and blue, Netter of Netters Network. How you doing, my dear? And what are you sipping on?
I'm doing pretty well, considering it's Monday. And I am just finishing off one of my Meyer brand sparkling waterberry flavors, so I'll be opening up a new one really soon.
There you go. You handed me and I very much appreciate it, a Diet Dr. Pepper. So that's what I am sipping on. And let us turn our attention to the lovely, lovely chat, starting with the lovely Lady Mist, who says, let's call with Troy Pacelli. Hello. And she's dropping the flowers. Thank you so much. That is so, so sweet of you. And, of course, Connie Cleary, the bird woman of YouTube, says, hail to the chat and hail to the host. And hello to Netters Network. Of course, Netter of Netters Network is saying, hello, love of my life, to me. And of course, I love you too, my dear.
I hope so.
Of course. And Big Al Presents says, have a great rewatch, my friends. God bless our veterans. Yes, indeed. Lester San Jose says, can't wait. I've known about this movie for a long time, but haven't watched it. This is a deep, deep film. And we will get into it in just a moment after I have said hi to everyone, including Nikki's Movie House, whom we are going to affectionately refer to as Mom, even though she is probably a peer of ours and possibly even younger than we are. But welcome.
She's John Doe Juggalo's mom.
Absolutely. So welcome. Thank you so much for being here. And, of course, Darth Plato. Hanging out with Darth Plato last night. A lot of fun. Oh, Horsey. Because of the opening, the Western Center. Okay, I was going to say, what are we talking about here? Okay. I already have my ticket to see the Ice Pirates. Yes, that's this Saturday over on Big Al Presents Films with Friends. And welcome, Space Fraggle Troy. Ice Pirates is only for mature audiences. So you're saying none of us are qualified to go see that movie. Is that what you're saying? I believe that was PG. Again, we'll probably talk again about how PG back then and PG now are very different different concepts. The equivalent of the Overton window got shifted significantly, both up and down, when PG-13 came into existence. But yes, Darth Plato does rock and occasionally rolls. I'm sneaking in. Shh. Yeah, okay, no, I won't say nothing. I won't say nothing. Uh, yep, and it is PG-13. Absolutely, absolutely. I think it probably would have gotten a PG-13 if it came out, after that rating existed. I don't think there's anything in it that raises to the level of R. However, tonight's movie absolutely is R. There is violence. There is some very strong subject matters, some brief nudity. Actually, I'm not sure it's so brief. It's pretty much there, but much of it is non romantic-y type nudity. So yeah. So we will get into it. So this is, of course, the Oliver Stone film, written by Oliver Stone, and the main character, Ron Kovic. This is based on his autobiography. Paralyzed in the Vietnam War, he becomes an anti-war and pro-human rights political activist after feeling betrayed by the country for which he fought. My mom knew a lot of men that didn't come back from Vietnam, and those that did still kind of didn't come back. And so she had a very very strong perspective on not only the Vietnam War, but the war in general, and the way that our country handled foreign affairs. And I'm sure we will get into some of that tonight. Don't want to keep us too long, even though I did choose to do just the one feature tonight. It is a longer one. This is a 2.5-hour film.
And the Cosme link is pinned to the top of the chat.
Absolutely. This is probably one you'll want to have in your physical media library, but for even if you have a copy of it, for ease of watching it together, maybe we just sync up by watching it in Cosme together. So you guys know how that works. You go ahead and click on the link above, open up a Cosme link, keeping this tab open as well so that you can hear the commentary as we go, and we can all hang out together and watch this rather intense, but I think appropriate for the day film. So I'm going to go ahead and get us started. We certainly will be talking as the movie continues. Do me a favor, because I was a little bit rushed as we were getting started tonight. Please share out the stream on the social medias. Let other people know that they can pop in here and watch the film along with us. And sorry, I fell down on my marketing duties. When you're the host and the writer and the producer and the marketing director and the HR department and the bottle washer, sometimes some things kind of fall by the wayside. So thank you, everyone, and let's go ahead and get to it. Starting the film in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. And yeah, I actually had to edit the very, very beginning, taking off a few frames from before the Universal MCA logo. Darth Plato lectured on military science in the Vietnam War at Carlisle. It caused a bit of a stir. I would imagine it did. Yeah, I remember my childhood friends the same way. It's true for pretty much right up to this generation of kids. Playing soldier was very popular role play. I feel like nowadays they do the same thing, but instead of being regular soldiers, they'd be more, franchise based, sci-fi soldiers. Good evening, Curtis Selby. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Kind of a cool way to transition. And this is one of those period pieces that I think does a really good job of capturing the feel of the era that it's portraying. I like Space Fraggle. That was the original way we played Call of Duty. Yeah, kind of right. The home of the free and the brave. Every heart beats true for the red, white, and blue, where there's never a post or drag. Ooh, a '57 Chevy Bel Air. Damn clowns. We were having so much fun, and then they had to show us a clown.
You don't like clowns?
I don't know. Seems like the popular thing to say. I don't really care. Yep, it's a firecracker, man. What the 4th of July is all about to a kid.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Curtis. God bless our veterans. I loved in the '80s how it became, even if you don't support the war, support our troops. There was a time we were starting to learn the lessons of history. Yep, veterans of World War One, World War Two, Korea. Yeah, absolutely. I was dimly aware of that. Yeah. Wow. There you go. Just like Mickey Mantle.
So apparently that little girl likes them.
Dems were vocally talking down the vets during the McGovern campaign, so it became a slogan ever since to avoid giving the impression to the public that the Democratic Party always have your back.
He's like, what, 9?
This was, yeah. I mean, it seems, you know, I was a kid that age too.
He's doing them wrong.
Um, there was this oddity, right, during the Vietnam era. There was this big counterculture, hippie peace movement, and they were anti-establishment, so they found the Democrats to be more to their liking. But let's face it, the big government has always been, regardless of which side you're on, pretty much pro-war. Now, that wasn't true of everyone within the parties. Obviously, the Kennedys were very much of the mind, we don't like war, we don't want to go to war, but we also want to have a strong presence. A lot of people on the right were like that too, but that military-industrial complex has to be fed, right? I'm sorry, chat just jumped on me. Hello, Troy Netters in the chat. To all the men who have served, who will, and who are still
surveyed our country. Thank you, and God keep you.
Who are still probably serving our country. Thank you, and God keep you. Absolutely. Welcome, Nate, by the way.
And Deleted Scenes giving his salute.
Salute day.
Yeah, the time was initially.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I need a producer. I really do. Right, you are. But don't get me started. It's time to stop that BS. Don't get me wrong. I'm not an isolationist, but we need to mind our own business.
No, I've said that for years. It's like, why are we getting involved in other countries' wars?
Exactly.
It's their disputes. Let them handle it however they're going to handle it. It's none of our business. Stop sticking our nose where it
and even when the politicians think that there is a good reason for it, it never works out the way they want it to. It always is a bad idea. But who learns from history anymore? Just keep making the same mistakes over and over again and expect different results.
Oh, I remember doing the ropes. I actually used to like them. I was good at it. I like doing the ropes. I like doing the rings, although we didn't get to do those often in class.
But you caught that. Get your legs off those ropes. That was a hand-over-hand lift.
Oh, I've never done that one. Have you? With the pegs?
I did, but not during class. I was doing it because I wanted to, and I would have gotten in big trouble if anyone had ever found out, because they thought it was too dangerous.
I think I dropped 3 pounds by Saturday. I really want to know because I want to drop about 10 pounds. I think he's got a lot of siblings.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's number 6. Oh, I came from a family of 5 kids. So, oh, and there's 2 more. 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I guess this is after supper.
Yes. Yeah, that was a weird cut. It's for the articles. Come on.
Is that Tom Cruise?
Yes, it is.
Wow, he was young.
Yes, he was. Well, I've said the same thing, Nate, but I suppose you could argue that other countries did get involved in the Civil War. We did get some help from foreign countries. There's Kyra Sedgwick. She was really young too.
Yeah. Wow. I always recognize her by her mouth. It's
Yes.
a very unique mouth.
Yes, she does.
Why do that thing? Pin him.
You know, this is why I super appreciate deleted scenes in the chat, because he points out, what got nominated and so forth and won awards and whatnot. I never follow any of that. But the fact that it was nominated for an Oscar for editing, yeah, I would expect better.
Yeah, it's like that got Oscar for editing when I had that bad cut.
I thought, yeah. Yeah, Lester, I screwed up the time. It was supposed to be 8 Central. I had it at 9 Central. I apologize.
Bridge? Oh.
Yeah, get your shoulders up off the mat. Or at least one of your shoulders up off the mat.
See, Sarah is upset that they lost.
Yeah.
His mother just looks disappointed and
Yep.
like,
Exactly right.
it's like no support at all.
Tom Berenger.
Everybody's young in this one.
I know. Welcome, JPRPH1. Very young Tom Berenger.
Yep. Because you're all signing up. Yeah, some of you guys got to be Army.
This is a great comment, but I need some clarification, Darth Plato. Not going to defend the Vietnam War, but anti-Vietnamism is a thing unto itself. It's tiresome to me at this point. Are you referring to anti-Vietnamism as in the continued opposition to the war? Or are you talking about, some sort of a racism against Vietnamese?
Well, by the way, my joke about the Army being lesser than the Marines, that's a joke that's been around for a long time. I didn't just make that up. Actually, I've got respect for all of our armed forces.
Yeah, it's really great when the Marines need a ride.
make sure to say I miss anybody in the chat saying hello. I think I got everybody, but if I did miss you, please let me know so I can drop my hi, sweetie.
Yeah, it's not too dissimilar from the level to which people understand modern current events, right? They hear things, they believe it, and they never go any further than that.
Drop my things. Do you need another drink while I'm in here?
Yeah, I might as well. Thanks.
Starting on my second water.
You know, see, I'm very sure that's what they were told. And that's what the Marines believed because of the way war had been fought prior to Vietnam. So the whole doctrine was different.
Well, I just can't get over how
Oh,
young
yeah.
these guys are.
Absolutely agree there, Darth Plato.
Did you see the answer as in it muddles the understanding of what
I
happened?
did. Yeah, I brought
Oh,
that
okay.
up.
Oh, I was watching the movie and
Yeah, fair enough. See, and then there's that whole domino theory, right? I mean, I understand the concern. Let's face it. We have our own problems right now, immediately with communism. But communism isn't going to be fought off on the battlefield. It's going to be fought off in the classrooms. And we are already losing that battle. I love seeing you guys dropping those membership emojis. I appreciate you guys. If you prepare to fight the last war, you won't be prepared to fight the war that you do end up fighting. Well, that's actually an interesting point. Yes. But it's hard, right? Because you've got to prepare for what you know, right? There's only so much you can do to prepare for the unknown.
it's like she must know you work there.
Right.
Oh, you take out his retainer.
Hey, Wade, welcome, welcome.
I don't know a lot of people who actually want to go onto the front line.
Nate says that Tony Todd was originally from Washington D.C., just like he was.
They're reading Mad Magazine.
Born in the same hospital, he was 54, and you were born same year I was, 71. Yeah.
He still didn't put the toilet paper away.
It's an interesting perspective, right? Because he's struggling with all the same things that every kid that age does, right? All this drama and whatnot that in just a few years you're going to look back and realize none of it matters. Thank you so much, Space Fraggle, who's been a member for 1 month. God bless them all and Godspeed for their safe return home.
Amen.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've got way too many of our men and women. I got to keep reminding myself because we used to say our boys, and that changed in my lifetime.
Yeah.
Overseas, we need to get them home as soon as possible. Heck, our borders need to be protected.
And Hello Darkwood presents.
Did I miss Darkwood? I am so sorry, Darkwood. Welcome, welcome.
Still has the cap she gave when he was
Yep.
a kid.
Of course he does. Yeah.
Okay. Yay.
I remember someone saying about Bob Dylan, can you imagine if he had like a song in the later 70s? What would he complain about? Well, my ties are too wide. My lapel is too. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's what the National Guard is supposed to be for. But they keep sending them overseas too for some reason. To defend other people's borders, but not ours.
It's not like the army. Like you can choose places.
Vietnam was messed up for a lot of reasons. Might sound like stating the obvious, but it's not as obvious as people think. Yeah, exactly.
Well, you still are a kid, technically.
Well, that's pretty wild, Darth Plato. Bob Dylan used to jam with Jerry Garcia across the street from me. I used to see him at 7-Eleven. Wow. I was wondering who would comment on my icon. Thank you, Curtis. I remember growing up every year, my grandfather would literally get in the car and drive around until he saw someone selling the poppies. Poppies grown on Flanders Field. This American Graffiti sequel's weird. Actually, this totally could be a American Graffiti sequel. And now Tom's the biggest spokesman for L. Ron Hubbard. I'm not so sure that's entirely true anymore. I feel like he's been kind of pulling away.
Why is he all sweaty and wet?
He just ran there. He wasn't going to go to prom.
Oh.
And he's like, for crying out loud, I deserve one dance, right?
Was it raining?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That explains why he's soaked. 'Cause I'm like, damn, he sweated a lot.
See, even with all the hype and whatnot, he knows how dangerous it is, and he knows he might not be coming back. If Ike had been POTUS, this wouldn't have happened. Man, I follow a lot of channels that do the alternate histories, little changes that would have affected a lot of things. That's an interesting timeline. Something to think about. Ah, Dark Plato, thank you so much for becoming a new member.
Awesome.
Um,
He's a
don't be
firefly.
don't be offended that you don't see your name in the closing credits tonight, because it's going to take me a a day or two to get that updated. Thank you so much. Darth Plato, are you still teaching? That's
He's like, I
sweet of
don't
you,
see
Space
nothing.
Fraggle. Thank you. It's funny, Darth Plato, because like I said, there's a number of those alternate history channels that I follow, and sometimes they'll do the same, altered history, but they come to different conclusions. And I find that very interesting.
That was not an accidental discharge.
Right.
It's like, what the heck is wrong with you? If this was a job you could get fired from, you'd be sacked immediately.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean, Darth Plato. I don't I weed those out. The ones that I follow are usually pretty good on history.
But
Especially because they'll come to points and they'll go, this could go one of two ways, or it's hard to say, but I'm going to go this way because, and then they give a reason.
dang. No saving that person. No, it was whoever opened fire that wasted them. And he should be court-martialed.
Most common problems. Oh, yeah, yeah, exactly.
She was.
Oh, gosh, Darth Plato. Yeah, don't waste your time on stuff like that. Um, my favorite is the US of Z, which is connected to the more politically based channel Monsignor Z, or Monsieur Z, I think he calls himself. Um, Clearly somebody who understands poli sci and history. And the one thing he really hates is that turtle dove guy. He tried to do one that was something similar to Man in the High Castle, High Tower, whatever it is. But he's like, that history just could never happen. Says, here's the closest we can come.
But those were soldiers. Those were children. Plain soldiers.
Problem is, anyone coming at you with a loaded gun can kill you. I don't care what age they are. So what do
Okay.
you do?
The son was behind him. Did he just kill one of his
Possibly.
buddies?
No, absolutely. It is the most bizarre, ridiculous alternate history I've ever seen. Although this is the same guy that writes alternate history books where aliens come and give weapons to the South and stuff like that. Yep, exactly. Can kill you even if it isn't loaded. Yeah, actually, that's a good point.
One of his neck's missing. Okay, he's dead.
Yeah. Yeah, that's rough.
And knowing that he killed him is going to
Yep.
be even rougher.
Yep.
But it's like he comes running over the hill. Ah! I would have thought I was being attacked too. I did it. He's trying to make him feel better.
Yeah, it's a little bit of well-intended gaslight.
Yeah, you didn't kill him. I'm telling you.
Did YouTube not allow through one of your comments deleted scenes?
Was something held? Okay, wait a minute. Let me go to. I don't see anything in StreamYard.
But if you put it into YouTube, it's got to go through YouTube before it gets to StreamYard.
The last thing I saw before that is now we're in the SH space T.
Yeah, I saw that comment. That
Yeah.
came through just fine. Let me go to my dashboard and see if it's held up a comment. Dashboard.
Now, was Wilson one of his buddies or just one of the members in his platoon?
I think both.
You killed him back in the other village.
Oh, I can see comments on videos. I can't see chat comments that got held up. Oh. Ouch.
Go that law. Mm-hmm.
But going back to what Lester said, yeah, it got a bunch of awards. Even some of them technical awards, or actually, deleted. Did you say it won for editing, or that it, or that it was just nominated? Either way, the editing's a little bit flaky, and it got an award. I think that because of the subject matter, they gave it a lot of attaboys. It is a good movie, don't get me wrong, but I see a lot of technical problems with it.
He got shot in the foot of all
Yeah.
places. They're actually going to send him home for that.
And as you were saying, Lester, yeah, they went right from he's at home to he's in the middle of the jungle. They do a lot of jumping around like this because it's a long span of time. It's like you're getting chapters of his life.
So the buddy that was on saying, we need help, he got shot in the head.
Yep. The chopper went down.
Yeah. And he's dying. And someone's saving him. He's going to get a medal for that. A well-deserved medal for that.
Shrimp kebab, shrimp Creole, shrimp.
Ha ha ha.
I agree with you, Space Fraggle. War movies are hard to watch, but I think it's important that you do. You know,
Like Saving Private Ryan,
I think there's way too many people who know way too little and are way too outspoken with such little knowledge.
Wow. Just totally write him off.
Well, that's triage. It's very different from the ER at a hospital, and even that can end up a triage situation. They can be Darth Plato, but you're right. Don't take them at face value. I mean, I could point out to you like 10 different medical fallacies I just saw in that scene alone.
Yeah, I saw a couple things where it's like that. It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work like that. Yeah, exactly. That's not what you want to hear when you're telling them to try to stay alive.
Try to stay alive. By the way, I'm going to give you your last rites because I don't think you're going to make it.
Just in case.
For goodness, how sucky is that, Stay
Yeah.
alive, stay alive. Well, I'm going to give you your last rites. I'd probably be like, I'm not Catholic. Can you still give me last rites?
Yeah, the chaplains tended to be pretty non-denominational.
I wonder if that's the guy who pulled Cruz out of the field.
Probably not. Well, I don't know, maybe. Might have been a medic, sure. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. There were rats. Oy.
Yeah, I'm getting less and less impressed with the editing in this film. Deleted scene says he thinks that the guy that pulled him out died, but the editing's so bad it's easy to not be certain.
Obviously, things aren't very sanitary there.
Yeah, not really.
Oh, they're all getting enemas.
Yeah.
Wow. They're not even allowed to go to the bathroom by themselves. They gotta get enemas first. What I want to know is why didn't they send him home? Because that's obviously not home.
Yeah, that kind of had to be hard to see.
Yeah, get your upper body strength up again. Okay, I know he was shot in the foot. Why don't his legs work?
Spinal injury.
But he was shot in the shoulder and the foot.
He got shot in a lot of places. Yikes. Oh, so you know him as the warden from Shawshank. I know him as the captain of the USS Phoenix, Star Trek Next Generation. Bob Gunton, yeah.
Oh, so he's supposed to be in a VA hospital back in the States? Because that is a sucky VA hospital.
See, it was true back then too. You know, white privilege. They didn't call it that back then, but you had white privilege, and here he is. Yeah, I'm feeling real privileged.
Yeah, I still insist that somebody needs to actually tell me what my white privilege is supposed to be because I ain't seeing it.
It's no longer about race. It's about socioeconomic status, which may correlate to race, but not necessarily.
Mr. Chairman.
Yep. The round can travel through the shoulder and come out his back, going through the spine. Yeah, that's true. That's actually a good point.
Uh-huh.
Doesn't even have to go through the spine. If it just ricochets off a rib.
Ah,
Yeah.
Ew.
See, he can't feel anything below the waist, so he doesn't know how bad it is.
You.
Man.
Is he dreaming this?
Yeah, absolutely. Nate finally made it home, about to have dinner. Steak and stout pie. And cherry coke. Nice.
Ew.
Yeah.
It's like, can you at least clean up the floor so I don't have to look at that? What's he trying to do?
I think he's trying to call somebody. Who invited Whoopi Goldberg? Yeah.
Uh-huh. He doesn't care. And you think they're going to help you now? What'd he break?
Stuff hasn't changed, really. Really haven't learned our lesson. We're still funneling money to other countries to fight the commies, not taking care of our own veterans.
I mean, but I also get what you're saying. It's like I want to be treated like a human being. You're not treating me like anything. It's like I'm an inconvenience to you.
Every vet that I ever talked to that got that ever had to spend any time in the VA has said, yeah, you're just not even treated like a human being.
Massapequa. Where's Massapequa?
New England somewhere.
Looks like he still has the leg.
Yeah, I was right. New York.
Hey, he shaved. I also like the way they kind of thinned his hair out so it looks like he's much older than he is. You play his brother looks the same.
Yeah.
The tall one.
Yeah.
And they don't know what to do now or
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
He's trying to be okay.
Well, yeah.
Man.
You look so good. You look so good.
All those hippies.
Good. Yeah.
Well, if he had a room upstairs, he's going to need one on the ground floor now. Well, it's like he can use his arms, but he will move as if one arm is paralyzed, but then he'll start using it.
Well, there's a number of reasons, but there's a balance problem, right? Because from really the solar plexus down, he has no feeling, and it's very easy for him to fall side to side.
Okay, so I guess his room was always on the main floor. Because he just said it's great to be back in my old room.
Well, he's surrounded by half the cast of Year of the Dragon. Wait, which Oliver Stone film am I watching here?
Okay, I'm going to ask you a dumb question. Is Oliver Stone and Sharon Stone related?
I have no idea.
Okay, deleted. You're the expert on things like that. Is Sharon Stone and Oliver Stone related?
I'm inclined to say no, but Hollywood is, you know,
Wow, those look like thin burgers. Oh, I guess it's thicker than it looked.
they are not related. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So this is how Hooters got started.
Well, apparently his friend became very successful.
Yeah. They are not. They are not.
Well, something.
Now he earned that money for sure.
Yeah, I've heard vets say that it's like people look at you different when you've come back.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't know because obviously I never served. See, my dad was in the military. He was in the army when he met my mom. My brother never served because he was an epileptic, so obviously you can't serve if you are an epileptic. And none of my sisters or I served because they didn't really have women serving the way that they do
Yeah.
men when I was growing up. So, yeah, don't take the Lord's name in vain. It's my number one rule. Like, believe me, there's a war. See, I
Yeah.
can't walk.
I mean, you kind of figured it when he was playing the Bob Dylan song earlier, right?
But who's the guy standing up there? The brother that doesn't believe in the war?
You mean who's the actor?
Yeah,
I'm not sure. Let me check.
because he looks a lot like Jurassic Park guy.
Josh Evans.
Okay, I don't know the name, but he looks like what's his name from Jurassic Park? You know, first there's the ooh and ah, then there's the screaming.
Oh,
You know,
kind of does, but yeah, that's definitely not Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, I just couldn't think of his name.
The next movie he did after this was The Doors. Couldn't get out of the 70s, could you, man?
That's not.
what's really hard about it too is you go and you make that kind of sacrifice. You can't come back and say, and even believe it was all for nothing, right? My life is permanently altered for what? Don't tell me it was for nothing.
Fifth Dimension.
Mm-hmm.
I always like the Fifth Dimension. That's supposed to be Elvis playing the drums.
I guess.
Elvis was a guitarist.
Well, he played the piano too. I guess he could play the drums. And forever peace may reign on the land and love the free.
Head shop. Must be where you got your bongs.
Bosco, you're the second one that I noticed that mentioned the poppy picture. Yeah, welcome. Good to see you. The Bosco scenario.
Why are people like giving him middle finger and stuff?
It happened a lot. They didn't agree with the war, so they derided the veterans.
It's like, I did this so you could stay free, you dumbass.
And even if it's not true, you know, have at least some compassion.
Yeah. He's kind of young looking too.
Yeah.
Apparently, he got a whole bunch of medals, including the Purple Heart.
Well, yeah, he better have gotten the Purple Heart. Nate said my oldest brother made it to lieutenant commander in the Navy. 5 of my brothers were in the Army and National Guard. I wanted to join the Air Force. Failed the eye exam. Yeah, that is. Yeah. You need 2020 to be a zoomie.
Yeah, there's I used to watch the Waltons. I'd catch it on Philo TV, and one of the younger Walton boys always wanted to be a pilot. He always wears a little pilot hat, you know, the ones with the goggles and all that, you know. And then he found out that he had bad vision and wouldn't ever be able to be a pilot, and it just crushed him. I hope he wrote the speech and memorized it, and he's not just speaking off the cuff.
Man.
Come on, you can do it, dude. It's like, you've got PTSD.
Yeah, they used to call it shell shock. Whew.
I wonder if he went AWOL or something.
Don't know, but yeah, I haven't seen this in, gosh, 30 years. 30, jeez. It's a long time. Oh, yeah. Rona Martin's laughing.
So maybe we'll find out his story.
Yeah. My
He got
gosh.
hit in the head with a tree.
You know, it's what a lot of them say, that kind of gallows humor. It's sometimes the only thing that gets them through.
No, I guess he's talking about it now. Okay, this is weird. There were subtitles and now there's not. I mean, it's fine.
You're right. There's
but
not.
It's weird.
Sorry, guys. Don't know what happened to that.
Yeah, Troy usually tries to do subtitles for me because I can't always hear what's going on. Well, the guy in the green shirt got a small tat on his arm, so I'm wondering if that's from the military. Movie snacks. I always wonder about that. All these drug use, they're broke. How are they buying drugs?
By not spending money on anything else.
Yes, but where are they getting the money if they're broke? They can't sell their blood because it's filled with drugs, so they're not going to take it at the blood banks.
Everybody's different, but some beg, borrow, and steal for it.
Mm. Oh man, he doesn't even feel like he's home.
Yeah. You know, that's another element of this movie is that you jump around like this, and it's like, okay, where is he now? Well, we know he's in Syracuse, but why is he in Syracuse? Where's he going? What's he doing?
It's like, what, you can't love him now because he's in a wheelchair? Oh, cool earrings.
Yep, she's a new bohemian.
Just a little.
I mean, specifically, it's Edie Brickell.
Okay, I'm not used to hearing her talk without a southern accent from the closer.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they harmonize well. And they're all getting high.
Yeah. What was the old saying? Tune out.
Tune out, tune in, turn off, something
I
like
don't know, something like that. Don't know. It's never hippie.
she's not taking into consideration he's having trouble like getting over bumps and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, this was before everything was wheelchair accessible.
Yep.
Nate says, unfortunately, Matter, women be like that sometimes. I have a friend in high school, or Josh, and his girl Tammy were the couple. He got into a motorcycle accident, lost a leg, was messed up, and messed up his right arm. 3 months later, she left him. Yeah.
Well, then she never loved him.
Yeah.
Okay, he's in the middle of all that. What's he supposed to do in his wheelchair?
Yeah. You'll see.
Well, he's supposed to be brutal.
Yep.
Like, what the hell, man? I'm sitting here in a wheelchair, not even doing nothing. Yeah, these are the worst cuts.
Okay, these edits are just terrible. These edits are just terrible.
These edits are made like when I first started editing my vids for YouTube. That's how bad they
Yeah.
are. I promise you, I did not edit this movie.
Well, apparently it was nominated for an Oscar for editing.
Were they hot? Yeah, cool.
Well, it's like we were saying earlier. It was the subject matter that got it for them. This Color of Money sequel is weird. Actually, I think this was before Color of Money. Netter, where'd you get this freaking Mormon-owned blockbuster? Well, I think you don't mean Mormon. I think you mean Scientology. I mean, if I'm understanding your joke correctly, Darkwoods.
Yeah, you're walking.
Yeah.
He's not.
Mark says, non poop from the depths of the lithium mines of Aurora Pente. As predicted, I'm not happy to be back down here. I'm sorry, man. Did not realize that, Dark Woods, because Blockbuster Video edited out all the scenes the Mormons didn't like. Yeah, this isn't the Mormon edit or anything like that. This is just bad editing.
Looks like she's 14, dude.
I know. She's in a bar, though.
Doesn't mean anything.
I mean, she's supposed to have shown an ID that she's at least 18.
I used to go to the bar with my dad all the time when I was a kid.
Supposed to have. But she's obviously
11,
not
12,
there with her dad.
13, 14. I was never carded. No one ever batted an eye because it's like, oh, it's Larry's girl. I never got served alcohol. I never asked for any, but still.
And welcome, Daniel Barry. Sports Highlights. Happy Monday to you. After today, Mark says I may head to a bar and hope I make it to Quarks.
He needs a shave and a haircut.
It's going to cost him more than 2 bits.
Yeah. No, Curse, I don't think that was one of the Charmed girls.
No, yeah. Oh, wait a minute.
Because the only one she could have been would be Piper.
No. It would have been Who was the second sister?
Piper.
Holly Marie Combe.
Piper.
Oh, that's right. That was Piper.
I used to watch the show, dear. It was Prue, Piper, and Phoebe.
It was Holly Marie Combs.
Really?
Yes.
So I guess
Holy
you're right.
cow! Holy cow!
So it was Piper.
Yes, it was. Yeah. Now I got to see. Was this her first role? Well, it wasn't her first role, but it was probably her first big role. I can figure out how old she was. Let me take a look. So this was 1989. She was 16.
Wow.
Holly Marie Combs is 2 years younger than I am.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm. She has a problem with the word hymnos.
That is kind of bizarre. Yeah, you kind of are.
It's like, yeah, if you need to get a hold of yourself, maybe it's time you spoke to a therapist or something, and you know that deals with this type of thing.
Yeah, pretty much deleted. Now, from the Highlands of Scotland,
From
I mean, seriously, the way this movie's edited, we could be friggin' anywhere.
here to eternity.
No, we're going down to Mexico with Willem Dafoe and Tom Sizemore. But of course we are. That makes perfect sense.
There's a couple people there with wheelchairs. He's from Chicago
Yep.
because he apparently thinks that we talk like we're from Brooklyn.
Yep. Yep. Willem Dafoe.
Ew. Okay, that was gross.
And Michael Wincock, right?
She is not Mexican. Kind of hard to do in a wheelchair. Well, apparently, she knows how to get a guy up the stairs. That's fine. I'll take everything you got.
Right.
She's gonna make it move.
Gonna have a good time.
I was just going to try and give him a good time.
Yeah.
He can't be doing anything with his lower anatomy.
Yeah, she definitely got the better part of the deal here. That's rough. That is really, really rough. Oof. Man, oh man.
Now he's got really long hair.
Probably hasn't cut it since he left Vietnam.
He bought her a present.
Yes, so.
I mean, he's got to know he's not the only one she's doing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sure, that'd be great. Yeah, why not?
They're not really getting married.
I sure hope not.
He'll be wasted.
Yeah, no kidding. Here, suck on this straw.
Hmm. Now he's having PTSD again. He doesn't have a lot of money left. Okay, so there's a lot of screaming and yelling. Okay, what do you say? What's the matter with you? Keep up, he's gonna leave you on the side of the road, dumbass.
Right.
Like that.
There was a horse?
Well, let's start going back the way it came.
This Lighthouse prequel is weird.
It's like not only did we kill babies and women and other children, I shot my best friend. Dummy.
No, he's just talking shit. That's probably not such a good idea when you're out in the desert.
Yeah.
I just saw deleted scenes line. No, the lighthouse was like this, except in black and white and 4:3 ratio.
It's like, how did they get all the way down there?
They rolled down the dune.
Yeah, things don't make sense anymore.
I don't know. I feel like every movie Willem Dafoe is in is kind of like this. Now that I think about it,
Well, there's a lot of yelling, a lot of swearing, and fighting.
he always plays a nut.
They going home?
Probably. I haven't seen Beetlejuice 2 yet, so it's funny that you say that. The most normal role that Willem Dafoe was in Beetlejuice 2.
Huh. Yeah, he still has to live with the fact that he killed his friend.
Yeah.
But it's interesting how they did his hair in the front so he
Mm-hmm.
looks more middle aged.
Yeah.
Venus Cab. Remember when phone numbers started with letters?
I don't personally, but wow. That's
Yeah,
that's a lot of stuff in that yard.
but who are you? What you doing in my parents' house? Oh, that's not the parents' house. Oh, that's the parents of the guy
Yeah.
he shot.
Mhm. By the canal.
They didn't even tell him what happened.
That was Lily Taylor, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, you don't want it prolonged. Oh, so he wasn't his friend.
Hmm.
Well, as I recall, if you only had one boy in your family, that boy didn't go because he's supposed to help with the family. He's confessing.
Yeah.
I want to know how he makes that vein sticking out his forehead. And she's like, well, darn.
I know, right? My gosh.
And she's trying to be understanding.
That's got to make it even harder. You can say whatever you want about Tom Cruise. You can never say he's not a good actor. Ooh.
But it probably lifts some burden off his shoulder that he was able to tell the family this is what happened.
That's why they say confession is good for the soul.
They whistle good.
Samuel Proctor completely forgot this stream was tonight. I just got home from my Vietnam veteran grandpa's house and am now watching The Crossing. You know what? Good on you, man. I'm glad you did that. Hope you showed Grandpa a lot of love.
You can hold up a banner and hold it taut.
Fair enough, Samuel. Thanks so much. I think we're getting pretty close to the end. It's true because it wasn't really a war against the Vietnamese. It was a proxy war.
Where's D. Schneider? We're not gonna
Yeah,
take
right.
it. No, we're gonna take it.
See, you got to respect that reporter.
He's like, I want him
I'm going to
to
make
finish.
sure, there was a time when the media actually wanted to make sure that people heard the story, right? Then they became the propaganda arm of the
And then there's
government.
another microphone I see towards the guys that are standing, getting their.
Yeah. We're going to try to get a microphone
There
down.
already is a microphone down there.
You know, these days he wouldn't even have to go there. He could just get on the social media, get his story out.
Oh, yeah. You got the building of the music.
Yeah.
Is he the only one in a wheelchair that got through?
I didn't see what happened to the other guys. I think they were all ushered out.
But you really think standing in front of the crowd with your arms out is going to stop them?
Apparently, I'm having problems streaming to YouTube. Is my YouTube stream not up? It's not.
Yours?
Yeah.
I'm looking at it. Now let me refresh. I'm refreshing mine as well, since we share the same internet.
No, it's specifically mine. Yours is fine.
Oh.
Mine is not.
It's like I need my wheelchair.
I just lost my stream.
Uh-oh. Well, let me see. Oh, that's weird. Those of you in the chat on my stream, can you still see me?
StreamYard is telling me that you're fine. Mine is gone.
Oh, okay.
I'll keep the stream running for you. Actually, they're not hearing you.
Oh.
Well, maybe they are. I don't know.
Well, Curtis answered me, so y'all can still hear me, right? Somebody saying.
Yeah, Curtis says he can still hear you.
Okay.
Samuel can still hear you. So.
Yeah, Curtis says I still see you, so. Okay, that was weird about your stream. So, what's he running for? Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of the movie left. Four years later, and he still looks like a hippie. Cut your hair, dude. So apparently he wrote a book. Yeah, Billy. We figured out Troy's side somehow ended. Um, Mine's still going though, which is weird. Yeah, the movie's just about over. They're doing like closing credits. This is this person. This is this person. Kyra Sedgwick. She always was pretty. Tom Berenger. Willem Dafoe and all is crazy.
I know, right?
He's always crazy. Tom Cruise. Now the cast.
Man.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think I counted that they had like 9 kids or something.
Probably. Something like that. So if Deleted is still in the chat, Deleted, did you ever read the book? Kovic's book?
So this was a true story.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Dark Woods, is that you in the Cosme, that picture? And thanks again, everybody. that can still hear me anyway. I appreciate you hanging out with me. I can't even type to chat anymore.
I'm sorry, sweetie. You can type on mine.
Deleted never read the book. I think I might have to pick it up. JPRPH1 says great movie. That is you and Cosme. So that's Darkwood Presents up there on the screen.
Cool. You definitely rock the stash better than Cruz.
Well, in fairness, they were trying to be period accurate, which was never a very good look. Glad you got to see it, Curtis. Yeah, it's a good movie. A bit disjointed and poorly put together, but it's a good story.
So is the book called the same as the movie?
Yeah.
Oh.
Born on the 4th of July. Yeah, that's what I was kind of saying at the beginning, was that Ron Kovic wrote the book, and then he co-wrote the screenplay with Oliver Stone.
Apparently, it's a rare book, dear.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
The cheapest copy I am seeing,
Probably over $100.
the cheapest is $137.
Yeah, whenever they go out of print, that's what happens to them.
4th of July. This one is $55 from books. Then other places that's $500.
It's like, why do you even list them for that much? I mean, it's nobody's going to pay that. Just list it on eBay and see what you can get for it.
Well, they figure if you can't find it anywhere else, you'll pay that much for it if you really want it.
Yeah.
Okay, is this a book or what? Book. I want books.
JPH1 said it was his first time seeing it. Cool, cool.
Oh.
Cool, cool.
Actually, I found a copy for cheap. $5.84. So if anyone wants a copy of the book, eBay has them for cheap.
That's what I was going to say. On eBay, people will resell copies. You don't want to get them from the sellers when they know that it's out of print.
Yeah. I try not to buy them from the sellers that are like thrift stores.
Yeah.
Because they don't actually show pictures of the actual book. And then it's like, may have highlighted pages. And it's like, you know?
Yeah. Born on the 4th of July. There you go, guys. So, something to think about for this end of Veterans Day. Samuel Proctor, I'm glad you got some time with your grandfather, and everybody else. The next stream, of course, will be live from Sparkwood and 21 on Deleted Scenes channel tomorrow at 7:30 Central. Any last words, Nutter?